a sort of contract that this is your land and you own this. The king of that time, the leader, he turned that letter into a hat, a taj, and he put it on his head. And this is why that land became known as Tajikistan, the land of the Taj. And what do we call these hats? The Taj, subhanallah, meaning the heritage of the Naqshbandiyya silsila. Allah Ta'ala karam farmaye. I'd like to pass on to Sufi Nabi Shah Sahab just for a few words of pyara muhabbat.
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Just like Shasta was saying, mashallah, recently we returned back from a ziyarah tour of the blessed countries of Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, mashallah. Before I just mention one or two things on that tour. This month, mashallah, is a very blessed month. It's the month of Rajab al-Murajab. And throughout this month, mashallah, we have been raising Allah's dhikr and the dhikr of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam even more in this month. The reason why is this month is known as the month of khas mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this month, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects His anbiya and His awliya from their enemies. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts the dua of His anbiya and awliya khususi in this month. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has increased the blessings in this month, and we regard this month as a month of Al-Isra wal-Miraj, in the month in where Hazrat Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam was blessed with the blessed journey of Al-Isra and the ascension to the heavens. In this month, many awliyaullah have even asked and pleaded to Allah for Allah to take their souls in no other month except for the month of Rajab al-Murajab. Many awliyaullah have passed away in this month. To name but a few, mashallah, one of the greatest walis of all time, Sultan al-Hind, Ashraf al-Awliya, Hazur Khwaja Khwajan, Hazrat Khwaja Gharib Nawaz Muhyiddin Chisti Ajmeri, Rahmatullah alayhi, have their urs in this month. Many imams of the Ahl al-Bayt have their urs in this month. Hazrat Imam Ali al-Naqi, Hazrat Imam Musa al-Qadhin, many other imams of the Ahl al-Sunnah, Hazrat Imam Shafi'i, Hazrat Imam Nawawi, and according to some narrations, Hazrat Imam Muslim, rahmatullah alayhi, have also their urs anniversaries in this month. This month is a very special month, mashallah. And throughout all of these weeks, we have been remembering these awliya Allah. Subhanallah. Recently, Hazrat Maulana Sheikh Nazim al-Haqqani al-Rabbani, rahmatullah alayhi, also passed away in the month of Rajab al-Murajab. Subhanallah. There is a few waqiyah, few stories, but alhamdulillah, what we experienced when we went with the Jamaat of the Naqshbandiyya silsila to the blessed land of Bukhara Sharif, it was emotional for us, as well as we were very anxious and excited. But the emotions overwhelmed us, overtook us when we especially went to visit the darbar, the maqam of the Imam of Tariqah, Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Naqshband, Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband, Rahmatullah alayhi, a khas darbar, where first we were under the supervision of our Hazrat Shah, the Sajjad Nashin of Shahpur Sharif. Wherever we went, mashallah, we did the dhikr of Allah, the dhikr of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we did read Khatam Sharif at every maqam. When you go to the complex of Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband, you should visit the mother of Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband first, Bibi Arifa. We went to give salam there first, and we rested there. And some of the dosts in the complex, they did fresh wuzu, because we were on our way from Bibi Arifa's maqam to the maqam of Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband. And Hazrat Shah said that when we go from this maqam to this maqam, and it was a bit of a walk, Hazrat Shah said that we shall go in the julus, in the way as we march in julus, in milad. This is the same way we will go. Julus de Shakalij with the zikr Khuda, zikr Rasul. We went from the maqam of Bibi Arifa all the way to the maqam of Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband, raising Allah's zikr and the zikr of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And many of the people stopped to see this scene. It was a beautiful scene, mashallah. And the adab itram of Hazrat Shah was that they looked behind them, and we were approximately 30 to 35 those. And Hazrat Shah said that it's appropriate that on my right is an Ali Rasul, and on my left be an Ali Rasul as well. So they called Najis forward, and they called my brother forward, and they said, let's go in the julus like this. And when we entered into the maqam of Hazrat Shah Bahuddin Naqshband, Wallah ba Khuda, it was so powerful that even the experience is difficult to put into words, but the emotions, my heart cried in the love of Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband. The reason why I had prayed for 25 years to go to this maqam. 25 years praying day in and day out, Ya Allah, when will that day come when we go to visit the Imam of the Tariqah? So when we entered into the Roza, the maqam, my tears were flowing down my face. When I looked at all around us, many of the doors were crying, but this was crying out of excitement, crying from joy, from the happiness that we had come home, homeward to the home of the tariqah, to the Imam of the tariqah, Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband. And the beauty of that visit was that when we recited Khatam al-Khwajgan Sharif, we raised Allah's dhikr, the dhikr of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then we had an inspiration that we should renew our bayah, re-strengthen our bayah, reaffirm our bayah with Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband through the wasila of the Sajjad Nashin of our Hazrat Sahib Shah. So we all renewed our bayt, reaffirmed our bayt through Hazrat Sahib Sheikh Riyaz, directly with Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband. This was the beauty of that visit. We thought that visit would have been enough, but when we were doing dhikr, the dhikr was echoing from the grave. And we wanted to give our salam, our farewell salam, because every maqam we only visited approximately once. We thought this was going to be our first and last visit, but when we went back, Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband called us again and again. So we repeated our visit 3 times to the maqam, to the darbar of Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband, and every time we went there, they overwhelmed us with their treasures, with their muhabbat, with their shafaqat. Because do not think that these awliya Allah, that once they die, they are buried and they are gone away. But Allah says in the Quran, yes, that these awliya Allah, they are even alive in their graves. They do not die, because those awliya Allah people, they fight with their nafs day in and day out. They attain the maqam of a shaheed, of a martyr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not allow them to rot in their graves. They are khush in their graves. and they're feeding the people with their ilm, with their fairs, with that spiritual knowledge. And mashallah, this was only one maqam. But some of the other great maqams of Hazrat Sayyidina Sayyid Amir al-Qulal, Hazrat Sayyidina Baba al-Samasi, Hazrat Sayyidina Yaqub al-Sharqi, Hazrat Sayyidina Alauddin Attar, which was on top of a mountain, and then Hazrat Sayyidina Muhammad Zahid al-Khashani, which was way up in the mountains, mashallah. And every maqam that we went to, we read Khatam Sharif, we raised the zikr of Allah, the zikr of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Akhri gal, when Hazrat Sayyidina Abdul Rahman al-Jami, Hazrat Maulana Jami, rahmatullah alayh, wrote in his famous book on Sufism, and said that the first time I met a wali was when I was 5 years old. And that wali was Hazrat Khwaja Muhammad Parsa, rahmatullah alayhi, who was the second Khalifa of Hazrat Sayyidina Shah Bahuddin Naqshband. And Hazrat Maulana Jami says that Hazrat Khwaja Muhammad Parsa was on his way to Hajj. And he stopped in Damascus, and all of the people of the town came out to welcome this Khwaja, this great Sufi master. And everybody wanted to do ziyarah of this Khwajan master. And my father came out, and my father, he met the great Sheikh, and somebody was holding me, and then my father wanted to introduce me to the great Khwaja, and somebody placed me in front of the great Khwaja, Khwajan, Hazrat Khwaja Parsa, and he looked into my eyes, and he gave me that shafaqat, that muhabbat, and he gave me a flower. And mashallah, 60 years later, Hazrat Maulana Jami says, 60 or 65 years later, I still remember the love and the joy and the happiness from the radiance of his face. It was that noor of that Khwajan master which made me turn away from the dunya and towards the path of Sufism. Subhanallah, Sina inka Mustafa ke ishq se bharpoor hai, dil munawwar, roshan chehra kya basta noor hai. It is the noor of these awliya Allah which illuminates from their hearts, illuminates from their faces, which actually change the lives of the people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding, give us amad tawfiq and istiqamah upon Allah's deen. Wa akhir da'wana in alhamdulillah.